It's Vinyl Conversations time. Hello, group. Welcome to another edition of Vinyl Conversations. We are your hosts. That's Tamarisha over there. I'm Latifa. Peace sign, the peace sign. Wow, look, it's already the end of the year. This is our last show, right? For
This
for
our
2020?
last this our last 2020 episode, guys. I know y'all gonna miss us. Watch them reruns
Yeah,
though. Watch them reruns. Don't worry about it.
because it's December 20th, so next week, vacation.
All right, and then I'm gonna get drunk for New Year's. Don't worry about
See, here you go. Anyway,
it.
look, so we want to thank y'all for rocking with us since March. Again, like this is the last show, but we definitely will be back January 3rd for 2021. So y'all stay tuned for that. So let's get all the logistic stuff out the way. Disclaimer stuff. Facebook, we do not own the rights to any of this music. This is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Please do not mute us.
We do not own the rights to this music. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I just got out of jail, so let's just Facebook jail,
Out of
guys. Not
Facebook
real
jail?
jail. Facebook jail. So it's real in the field. Don't mute us. We don't own this. All right.
That part. All right, guys. So look, without further ado, please welcome singer, actor, humanitarian, philanthropist Tony Terry to the show, guys. Yay!
Yay!
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Thank you for having me, y'all.
Good. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. How's the COVID holiday, Christmas holiday doing, treating you guys?
It's going well
What?
for me.
That's good. That's good.
The sunshine? Can we? As long as the sunshine keeps shining and it's bright, we gonna make it through.
That's what's up. Speaking of sunshine and bright,
So, yeah,
can
it's
I do this
nice and
song for you
sunny. We
guys?
need that vitamin D.
Can I do this song for you guys?
You can
Do
do
we do it
whatever you
now,
want.
or do we
You
do
can
it
do
now, or do you
Yes,
want it?
go ahead.
Because I didn't get the script, so.
No,
So
go ahead.
this is what started the
Instead
whole
of me
thing.
playing it,
And I do own the rights to this music.
Hey.
okay, great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, when I'm with you, I hear a song that makes me laugh and smile and sing to you. When I'm with you, I feel so free. I feel that love is gonna take control of me. When I'm with you, it's for real. What I feel when I'm with you, yeah, yeah. When I'm with you, I wonder why people do stop and stare and smile at us. When I'm with you, the sun shines my way. Maybe our love reflects its rays of light on everyone. When I'm with you, it's for real. What I feel when I'm with you. Yeah. tender kiss, your smile, yeah. Body warm, heart so pure. I cherish when I look, babe. Look in your
Hey, they filming.
eyes. I
Oh,
wonder
okay.
why people do stop and stare, smile at us when I'm with you. Sunshine's my way, baby, our love reflects its rays of light on everyone when I'm with you. It's for real, it's for real. What I feel when I'm, don't know why the music's going up and down like that. Ooh, I love you so much, yes I do. Yeah, 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 yeah. I give the world to you, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. I want you. It's for real. What everything's alright when I'm with you. It's already what I feel when I'm yeah. With you and God in my life, everything's alright. Yeah. It's already what I it's okay, good one made from day to day. Yeah, it's so right, so nice when I'm with you.
Woo!
Well,
Yes.
Wow.
I was
I think
not
I'm gonna have to invest
expecting.
in some more. I'm gonna have to invest in some more expensive cables.
I
I
was
got these
not
cheap
expecting the
Amazon
whole
cables. You
song.
know, these are Walmart cables I got right
Oh, not the Walmart cables.
here.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Walmart and their
Shout out to
cables.
Walmart. Hey, get that sponsorship.
Shout out to Walmart. Shout out to
Hey,
Amazon.
You know what I'm talking about?
it did what it needed to do.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up.
Listen, I
As
was
long as
not
that happens.
expecting the whole song. I was like, okay, so we're gonna get one verse and then we gonna
No.
go. And then he just kept going. I was like, well,
I
okay.
sound like a 57 Chevy though, because I just started. I haven't warmed up yet.
A 57 Chevy.
It takes me about a good 45 minutes to warm my voice up.
Wow. Well,
Look,
Yeah.
if that's
it was
before it's
good.
warm, goodness gracious. I'm
That's
just
the
being
subject.
honest.
Wow. These okay, let's get into the song. Let's get into the lyrics.
Okay.
So you said in the beginning you actually wrote the song.
No. I own part of the rights to the song, but I didn't actually write it.
Oh,
But when I record somebody's song, I have to own a piece of it. You know what I mean? But I
so
didn't write it. It was
okay.
written. It was what? That's the publishing side of it. That's the side that gets paid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The performer makes some money, but the person who owns the publishing of a song is who makes the money.
That's where the chips at.
Exactly.
That's right. Like
Okay.
if you get one hit record as a songwriter, you could potentially not have to work again or write another song ever.
I'm in the wrong business.
Well, it only takes one. It only takes one. Only takes
That's
one.
cool.
Okay,
Well,
But it was written. Okay,
so what's
okay, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so go ahead and give us the history on the song.
Okay,
Who
all
wrote it?
right. So it was written by a friend of mine, Raymond Reeder from DC, and interestingly, he wrote it about a girl he had a crush on in high school. He didn't know that I had a crush on the same girl at the same time. Let me
wow.
drink my water. That was a long time ago, though. But when he told me that, though, I just thought, what in the world? How you gonna be writing a song about my girl, man? She was only my girl in my mind because she made me way too nervous to talk to her. I wasn't ready. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, but now.
Oh, but now.
All right, all
So
right. So
wait
he
a
wrote,
minute. So
yeah,
how?
yeah.
So what's the age range here? Because when you look at these actual lyrics here, where does come from?
That's some
Um,
grown up
that's
stuff
grown
right
up
there.
stuff, right? That's grown up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how the man felt. That's how the man felt. It was a long time ago, though. We're talking
That man got
30,
married early,
35
didn't he?
years.
He got
Actually,
married early, didn't
he
he?
never got married.
What? He wrote something this
He
deep
he
and he
he
never
did
got
he did
married.
bling out his house in the hood, though. He did do that. House was blinged out. That's funny. That's funny.
That's
Wow.
funny. It's funny that he never got married if he wrote such a deep song. Like,
That's such a deep song. But you know, the first time I heard "With You" by the first chorus is for real. What I feel when I'm with you. I stopped the tape. I was like, when are we gonna record this, man? I knew that it was something special, and I knew it was going to affect people because it had affected me.
man, just every time I hear that song, like I know the lyrics. I don't even need the paper, but you know. Um,
Can I tell you? Somebody asked me to sing it at a funeral. They tried to book me. No, I
What?
did let them book me.
do what?
I took the gig. I'm just going to tell you that. the check cleared. Okay, don't
The
be
check
mad.
clear.
Don't
I ain't
judge me.
mad.
Don't judge me.
Listen, this is the last place we judging. I'm just saying, like,
The check cleared. Well, I'm so
Wait,
sorry.
I'm judging.
how does
I'm
that
judging
work?
the family. I'm
Well,
judging
it
the
works
family.
like this. It works like this. I'll sing the song right for a particular fee, right? But if you want me to say, "Oh Lord, 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 why
You're so petty.
we put you got that's an extra $250. I'll try to jump in the casket. That's an extra $1,000,
That's an extra 1,000.
and I'll fall faint, cold, flat out on the floor. 1,500.
How much to say his name? I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
That's on top of the base pay. That's on top of the base pay.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
How much to sing his name? We love Brother Jones. He was the best. Like, Tony knew
So I
Brother
mean, was
Jones
it?
personally.
So was it like a
Yeah,
husband and wife or something, or?
honestly,
Because
it's a young man who the mother wanted me to sing the song over him because it was their favorite song. She sang it to him from childhood. And I did think it was weird because I've done it once before. That check cleared too.
Of course it
So,
did.
yeah.
Clearly, you're not talking about nothing where the check didn't clear.
Right. So look, I'm saying it's a little bit weird, but you know, yeah.
You think?
It's a gig.
That's
Yeah,
right up there.
yeah.
That's right up there with the funeral and the person just sitting in the chair. You like, so they dead and they just sitting there. Like,
right. That person.
Tony Terry gonna
Listen,
come through and sing with you at your funeral. Like,
if I come to your funeral and you're standing up and you're not in the requisite laid out position like this, I'm leaving. You're required to be laid out like this. Okay.
that's a requirement.
That's a requirement.
Wow.
So if somebody came up to you and said, you know what, Tony, the check cleared. They want you to do the funeral. They want you to sing the song, and you get to the funeral and they want you to sing. So they tell you they want you to sing next to the person that died. Like you thinking, you get there, you thinking they're gonna be in the casket. You gonna sing
right, and they're sitting on a chair,
and they sitting up. But the check cleared though. So do you?
Right. Listen, no,
So do
no,
you
no,
pull up
no.
to the
All money
side?
ain't good money. All money
Oh
ain't good
my-
money. All money ain't good money.
I mean, I thought we was talking about clearing checks right now,
Listen, I'm
cause.
just saying, it depends on what's going on at that time of the month.
Oh my goodness. All right, so look, let's get back to the lyrics.
Listen, I be getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. She got to pull me back in because we'll go on this all day.
All right.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
listen, honestly,
So,
when I recorded with you, my label called me in because it was time to choose what the next single was going to be. The first single off of the second album was Head Over Heels. The second single was With You. So I decided that's what I wanted it to be. And they were like, nah, that's not a good idea. In fact, they told me that only Stevie Wonder could do a song like that and get away with it. And
what?
I just wasn't hearing it. I just wasn't hearing them with all of that. But
Uh,
they tried to teach me a lesson as because music business is an ego-driven business, all about
Mm-hmm.
ego.
Mm-hmm.
And so they released with You. Okay, at the time in the 80s, there were like 40 major labels. So if you can imagine that 40 labels each have a local promotions person that services radio, goes to radio every week, and they have about 15 or 20 records. Each of those 40 representatives have that many records that they're taking to radio on Monday or Tuesday or whatever their music day is. And there's only 5 slots of new music that the program director can fill that week. So out of all those companies and all those records, he has to pick 5. And those are the 5 that'll get added that week. And so my record was serviced to radio as a blank label with no information on it, which in retrospect to me would have made it stand out because it was so different from everything else. And With You started to grow without any support from the label at all. And then one day I got a call from Anita Baker, who I did not know. And I just happened to be walking into my management's office and a receptionist wasn't there and the phone was ringing. And so I answered it. I answered it. I'm talking into the back of my microphone too, so forgive me. Now I'm not. I knew something was weird. So I answered it and it was Anita Baker and I didn't believe it. And she told me that she heard, man, I couldn't believe I was talking into the back of the microphone this whole time. And she heard my song on a show that was popular at the time called The Party Machine, which came on after the Arsenio Hall show. She heard the song. She said it woke her up and she was just blown away by it. So she called to find out what was going on with it. The label didn't think it was a hit. I told her that. She said, those people are crazy. And she sent me $50,000 to shoot the video for With You. And so if you've ever seen it, it was because she did that.
wow.
That is amazing.
It is amazing. You know what's even more amazing? That maybe 20, 25 years later, on the Monique show, when Monique had her show on the WB here in Atlanta, excuse me, I had already performed on the show and heard that Miss Baker was coming. And my mother-in-law is a fan, so I got tickets to go back to the show as a guest, to watch Anita Baker. She didn't know I was going to be there, but she was doing her thing. Sweet love, sound like and at the end of it, just at the end of her song, she opened her eyes and she was looking at me. We made eye contact, and her eyes got big, and the show went to commercial. And I could see a conversation happening between her and Monique. I kind of assumed that I knew what it was about, but it looked like they were talking about me because they were making gestures toward me and giggling and all that kind of stuff. So when they came back from commercial, she told a story about calling me, that, looking for me. And Monique asked her, why did she do that? Because she didn't know me. I was on a different label, and it was just unheard of for another artist to get involved in another artist's career. So she said she was being obedient to the spirit. She was led to do it, and she had to do it. She had to do it. It wasn't about money. It was about doing what she was supposed to do.
That is.
And I thought that was amazing.
That is.
I'm still
Oh,
like
that
that's
is.
not like. How did that feel? Like Like when she just on the phone and she just was like, "Here, I'm gonna let you take this money and go do a video." Like
I didn't believe
these
it. I
people
didn't
are
believe
really
it.
not.
You got to
The
remember,
check cleared.
the check did clear, but I didn't believe like the whole time. Like, yeah, okay, I'll play along with it, but clearly I'm not talking to Anita Baker. But I started to believe it more and more because she sounded like Anita Baker would sound if she was calling me.
Right.
And so the check did come, and she called Blair Underwood. We know Blair Underwood. He's one of our favorite actors,
Right.
and that was his directing debut. That video.
What?
Wow,
Blair
didn't know
Underwood
that
directed
either.
that video.
Yeah, he
Shout
did.
out
Yeah,
to Blair Underwood. That
yeah,
video was nice.
yeah. The high top fame.
Wow.
My cousin dressed me for that video, right? And most of my videos, he was singing in the background on that video. And when I look at that video and the rest of the videos that he dressed me for, I'm thinking this guy could not have liked me. He couldn't have. He couldn't have because I trusted him. He said, "Put this on," and I put it on. But I look at him like, "What the hell? What the? What is
Listen,
that? And why do I have that on?"
that's because in the moment though, when that came out, he probably thought it probably was hot to people
Well,
he didn't know.
he was a slave to fashion, so I
So,
trusted his judgment. But
well, I
he was a
mean,
little ahead of his time. And he put I was his guinea pig, so he would just try stuff on me, and I would just be like, "Okay, cuz." One time we was on Soul Train, right? There was a store called Oak Tree back in the day. Remember Oak Tree in the
Yep.
mall?
Yep.
All right, Oak Tree
Yep.
they had an orange, green, blue, and a red suit. I know because we went and bought them all, and my cousin took curtain trim, rick rack. I guess that's what they call it. And he trimmed the pockets and he trimmed the sleeves with this curtain stuff. And we went on the Soul Train. And so
we gonna put that Soul Train. We put that Soul Train in the comments, guys. We put that going in. Now I got
I'm
watch
telling
it.
you, I was like, he couldn't have liked me, yo. Couldn't have.
I'm pretty sure I saw
Look,
the Soul Train
is he
episode,
still
but it didn't
around?
stand out. Now
No, he's passed on. He's passed on. He's passed on.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
God bless his
Oh.
soul. And he actually was one of my favorite people and an amazing singer in his own right.
Well, if nothing else, he made you
Oh,
stand
wow.
out, right?
He definitely made me stand out.
That Soul Train link is going in the comments because
Oh, you got
I'm pretty
jokes.
sure I saw
See,
it.
I wasn't
but
even
I'm
bothering you. I was just telling you
Nah,
the story.
there you were. I'm not the one. I'm going. That's going in the comments, and I'm gonna go look, and then I'm gonna inbox you like, yo.
Hilarious.
So Tony, so what happened? Because now, like Atlanta's my second home, so I've been to a couple of Monique shows. So after that talk with Anita and Monique, because when they cut and go to commercial, stuff happens. Right. So did y'all sing and dance and do anything?
No. Actually, what happened was, Miss Baker gave me her phone number. She said, "Call me, stay in touch, okay?" And she gave me the wrong number. I know she did that on purpose. She gave me her cousin number. I don't know whose number it was, but it was not Anita Baker's number.
I mean, listen. If
she set me up for the okie doke.
Listen, it don't matter.
And I think she honestly just, put, or maybe I misread it, but when I called the number, it was not legit. It was the wrong number.
Listen,
I was like, she set me up, yo.
She set you up for the fall. Like, you don't get her real number. What you thought this was?
I thought this was that. You know what I mean? When I got the real joint. What you thought this was? It was clearly not that.
Clearly. Giving out wrong numbers. She did you like they do people in the 90s.
Right.
See? Now you just call it on site. Like, oh, let me get your number. And then they call you, oh, that's me. See, it don't work like that no more.
Right. It don't work like that.
You can't give a phone. You can't, you know what I mean? Pen and paper is old. Like, you want my number, I want it now. You can't even get away from a dude.
Right.
You give a dude your phone number, he wants you to save
he gonna
it
text
now.
you. Right. And then he gonna text you to make sure it's the right one.
Man. You can't get it wrong.
I'm gonna text you right now.
Now.
That's me calling you.
That's me. They say it. They be like, oh, that's me. Lock it in. Save my number or something silly. Back in the day, you can get a wrong number and be at a whole club, 8 went home.
Right.
Now they be like, nah, you gave me the wrong
That's real
number,
tough.
shorty.
Hilarious. So
That's
so
that
Tony,
happens though. Yeah.
how did you actually get started? So because you went to the Duke Ellington School of Arts.
Yeah. I did. I saw Fame. I saw Fame on TV, and I thought, wow, that looked like something, because I knew that I was an artist, but I also knew that I was not at a school where I could study my craft and be expressive of my art. And a whole school of people that were doing that. So I found out about Duke Ellington, and it was very much like Fame, the TV show was. We had a ball in school. We didn't even want to go home at the end of the school day. Who what kid does that? um,
There's none.
yeah, it was a great experience, and it set me up for what was to come in terms of work ethic, and putting in the time, putting in the sweat, as Debbie Allen would say. The sweat, it starts here with sweat.
Yep.
And that's how it was, and that's how it is. If you're doing it on a professional level, you got to really put in the time.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So how did the first album come about?
Um, well, okay, that's a good question. I moved to New York. I was after I graduated high school. Now we're talking 117 years ago. Okay, after I graduated high school, um, I stayed in
The
DC for 2 years.
lies.
Right. I stayed in DC for 2 years. I graduated in 1982, and I worked for Howard Johnson's. I started out as a waiter. I was really thorough at my job. Within 6 months, I was in the management training program. So in October 1984, I heard about an audition at Crossroads Theater in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And I always knew that I wanted to chase my dreams. So I quit. I gave my assistant manager the keys and said, I'm not coming back. It was just like that. No 2-week notice. I'm done. See y'all. Peace. And I knew that if I did it that way, I couldn't come back. And so I quit my job, and I went to New York, did the audition, got the gig. But what I didn't know was that, because I was making good money at Howard Johnson's, but the gig in New Brunswick was only paying $35 a week. Right. Real good move.
Wow.
That was an awesome thing you did there.
Yeah. So it was paying $35 a week.
You thought that through.
Yeah. But it really turned out to be an amazing experience, because I had to sleep under my dressing room table for 6 months and survive off of $35 a week. So I was there with my cousin, and we used to pool our money, and we would, get a Snicker bar and some apples, stuff like that, or as a treat, or whatever chicken we were going to have. We would split it, and our mantra was 32 chews. Get all the nutrients out of everything we eat. 32 chews, cuz. We ain't had no money. Extract all nutrients.
Extract all nutrients you possibly can.
Right.
We are in these streets, malnutrition.
Right. So we did that. I mean, it was. You would have thought that it was, maybe, I don't know, it was crazy, but we were having the time of our lives. We'd get up and do the show, and then we'd stay at the theater, and that happened for 6 months. And then it got to the point where the theater found some of their patrons, and they took us in, and that happened. And then I made my way to New York City. One of the band musicians for the show that I was doing in New Brunswick came up to me after about a month of rehearsals and doing the show, and he said, "Bruh, I don't know about these other cats, but you're a star. And we're gonna work together." And I never thought of myself as such. I mean, just not. I mean, I knew that I wanted to make music, and so I moved to New York, and we worked on a demo. We worked on a song called "Don't Hold Out on Your Loving, Baby. You're the only one for me." And that landed me a deal. Okay, so I was hanging out. He took me to the spot to check out this band. After the band performed, the band leader came down, and we was chopping it up. And he asked me what I thought, and I said, y'all's all right. Y'all just missing one element. he was like, well, what's that? I said, me, man. uh, uh, so he said, and the room was packed. He was like, all right, here's your chance. Here's your time to shine. So I sang something. It was probably a Luther Vandross song or something, if I recall. There was a gentleman standing behind me who I didn't know. And he turned around and he says, where did you come from? And I'm sure I said something smart. And he gave me a card and he said, give me a call. And I held on to his card for about 2 weeks. And I called him. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I mean, I knew that he was a music producer and that he worked at night, so it wasn't unusual for me to call him that late. And so I did call him, and he was excited to hear from me. In fact, I just spoke to him a few days ago after not speaking to him for a few years, and reminded him of how it happened. And because he's 80 years old now, and he produced Atomic Dog for George Clinton. He was the first DJ to do live mixes on radio in New York. But anyway, so he was excited to hear from me, and he invited me to come to the studio. I was living in New Jersey, so I came to New York. I had to take the bus, the PATH train, the subway, and then walk up to the studio. And I got there, and he had Parliament Funkadelic in the studio recording for this group called the Boogie Boys. And at the time, they had that record called Fly Girl, Fly Girl, Fly Girl, Fly Girl. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, we might have to do something with that record. We might have to do something with that record.
What?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So he did that. So he was working on this record for the Boogie Boys with Parliament Funkadelic. And my boy that took me up there, Daryl Mull, who told me I was a star, a few weeks earlier, that he thought I was a star. He was like, yo, Ted, if you put my boy in the booth, you'll foul all them jokers. He's like New York energy. And Ted, he calls the guys out, and he puts me in the booth, and they start giving me parts to sing. And I was not, I could sing, but to be in this setting was new for me. I had recorded before, but we were in New York at the real studio, in the Studio A.
The real studio.
The Studio A, the primary studio. And he started calling me One Take Tony. And because I was nailing it. And he did actually fire those guys. He fired Parliament from that project. I was blown away.
What?
He hired me to do those parts, and I did it, and it came out as the second album for the Boogie Boys. Survival of the Freshest was the name of the album. And it was the first R&B, it was the first rap record that had R&B hooks. The very first one.
Wow.
Very first one.
You out here making history. I see you.
I'm just saying, it bees like that.
Chopping jewels.
So while I was recording, I'm trying to get to the short version of it, but it's a long story. While I was recording, his wife asked me to come into another one of the rooms in the studio. And there were maybe 5 or 6 people in there, and asked me to sing for them. Well, I was already in the vocal booth recording. So, okay. Let me hold you tight, if only for one night, and me keep you near. Saying something like that. And when I left that room, they gave me a 7-album deal. Just like that.
What?
Dang.
So I wasn't nervous because I didn't have a reason to be. I didn't even know who they were.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't know. And so that was that. And we started working on the record. I got signed to Capitol Records first. And they wanted me to record Nat King Cole's catalog. But I was 19. I was like, what?
Man.
In retrospect, I should have taken that challenge because Nat King Cole built Capitol Records off of his record sales. And so I just couldn't see it at that time. I didn't have anybody kind of helping me navigate. I was making these choices for myself, and I just wasn't feeling it. Well, it turned out that the guy this is when I first learned that the music business was ego-driven. The guy that signed me, that was responsible for actually signing me to the label, got fired, and the guy that came in to replace him is the new A&R guy, and he didn't sign me. So he's not really interested in developing me as an artist. He's interested in developing artists that he finds and signs. So I'm at the label,
Right.
not belonging to anybody, if you know what I mean. So this guy
Right.
went to Epic Records and he convinced Epic to buy my contract from Capitol all before anything, before I sang a note. So there was like millions of dollars that changed hands before I ever even got really in the studio working on my first album. But
Wow.
when I did, I was signed to Epic with Michael Jackson, Luther Vandross, Mariah Carey was on the Columbia side, Tina Marie was on Epic, and so I had all these heavyweights, excuse me, and they were trying to figure out what to do with me. They couldn't understand where I would fit into the whole Epic thing, but they took a chance on me. And the last 2 weeks of the recording of that first album, I ran into an old high school friend of mine, and he was like, "I've been songwriting." I was like, "Let me hear what you got." And he had written, "She's fly and fresh. The girl is truly deaf," which I was like, let me call Ted right now. And we went back to the studio. I was like, "Ted, this song is bananas." So we developed the song, and it ended up being the first single off of my first album, and it took off.
Man, that
Took
song
off.
there, that's a classic joint too.
Yeah,
Every time that song
Yeah.
come on in the club or whatever,
yeah,
our family functions, our backyard
yeah,
functions. Wow.
yeah.
Dang, that is
That's
It's,
what's
it's
awesome.
been
up.
an
That
interesting. It's been an interesting journey, you know.
Sounds like
yeah,
it.
cause you've been doing music and also now you're acting and you're in movies. So what's going on with that?
Well, it started out with acting. Started out with acting. You know,
Oh,
I was doing a musical, and then I was in Mama I Want to Sing, the longest running Black off Broadway show in theater history, with a
right.
whole bunch of other people that were in that show because it lasted so long. Um, so for me to act and to do film and to do stage, that's where I'm comfortable. It's like that's my wheelhouse.
So you never really wanted to sing, or did you really
No, I
wanted to
did.
act?
No, I wanted to entertain. I wanted to use my gift.
Okay.
And like really it's like whatever keeps the lights on. So if it's an acting
Whatever,
gig,
whatever check clear.
whatever check clear. If it's an
Whatever
acting
check
gig that
clear.
doesn't require me to sing, all right then. I actually recently played Malcolm X in a film called Martin, Malcolm and Me. And I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
interesting because people always told me that I look like him, but I didn't really get it until I was actually dressed up as him with the ring and the glasses and the skinny tie and all that. I was like, I look like Malcolm X.
Wow. Yeah, because you also did Sisterella that was produced by Michael Jackson.
I did. I played Prince Charming. Michael would slip in the back and watch the show with a mask on and slip out before it was over. The show flopped.
Wow.
Nothing happened with it.
It's Michael
But
Jackson.
it was a huge production though. I think it was too much going on. And then it was like
All right.
an urban twist on Cinderella. Maybe it might work today, but then they wasn't trying to get at.
It wasn't ready for it.
They
It
wasn't
was
ready
it
for
was another before time,
it.
before
Yeah,
its
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Man, yeah. I mean, everything ain't gonna be always 100, but
Right.
if the check clear, that's
If
all
the check
I'll
clear,
tell
you do
you.
it again.
I'm gonna do
That's
it
how.
So
again,
Tamara, go ahead
That's
and
what's
ask your
sad.
question.
man.
I know
Tamara,
that was a long
go
story,
ahead
but
and ask
that's
your
the
question.
story.
I heard you. It was a long story, but it was very interesting. To know, like she said, you dropped a lot of jewels on us that we would never know had we not talked to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm
Y'all are
pretty
getting
sure.
y'all are getting y'all are getting my unsung story. Hold up, I got to edit some stuff here. I can't tell y'all everything. Yeah, I ain't gonna have nothing to tell
Look,
the
that's what
unsung
happens
people.
with these interviews.
I ain't gonna have nothing to tell the unsung people.
See, when you did this
Look,
interview, you probably was like, man, let me go ahead and
Mm.
do this interview with these ladies and get it over with. Now you got here and you pouring your heart out. Look at you, see? And
I
we
honestly, I'm so busy grinding and making music, and we are turning this townhouse into a little production spot. We have some shows in development that we're working on. I wasn't even sure what the show was going to be or what we were going to be talking about, but my wife sets up interviews, so whatever she sets up, I assume that she's vetted, and whoever it is, they good. So
Oh
let's get it.
well,
Oh
Whatever.
yeah.
Let's get it.
shout out to your
Yeah, let's
wife
get it here.
for giving us the appointment. So
Yeah.
my question is,
Yes.
after all this, I'm pretty sure I kind of feel like you told us already, but I always ask the artist or whoever's on, like, at what point did you know you were famous? Like at what point? Like, was it
Um,
a autograph? Was it a show
I'm
you
gonna tell you
did?
what.
Like,
I was in the mall sitting. Well, two things happened. I was in the mall in town somewhere in like the southeast or Midwest, and this I, I don't want to call him a redneck, but that's what I would describe him as. He had on a plaid shirt
Mm.
and he had long stringy hair, and he said, "What two for? Uh, don't tell me you told me Terry." I was like, "Who sent you over here, man?" Like, man, he said, "Man, shoot, I'm a fan, man." I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "Stop playing, rednecks." You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
absolutely, because first of all, you just acted, so I do know what you're talking
Look, that
about.
whole
So
part.
I feel like I know this guy because the way you just did it was
Yeah,
it was
like
spot on.
it blew me away. I was like, man, somebody sent you over here, man. What is it?
And don't tell me you Tony Terry.
He was a fan,
Some
and
hidden
then
camera.
I was in another mall with my cousin. We was inside a store, and I saw it happen. I saw this girl. My record was super hot at that time. The girl and her little friend walked by the store, right? And they noticed us in there, and then they walked by again, and then they walked by one more time, and a few minutes went by, and we didn't see them. We finished our shopping. When we came out of the store, there had been a group of girls assembled just about to invade the store the moment we was coming out. And so I hauled ass. I'm just gonna tell you what it
Yeah,
is.
you
You know what I'm talking about? We ran straight for the hills, back to the hotel.
ran. Listen,
Because it was about to go down. I mean, it was gonna be a mob scene.
we had a guest on, and he said that they were in the mall, same thing, shopping,
That was
but
Torino.
they
Torino
didn't
from Subway.
from Subway. They didn't have enough. They didn't have the time, so the store had to lock them in while they
Yeah,
called
we got out just in
911.
time. We went straight. We was like we took off. Had to. It was called self-preservation. That was
Man,
fight or flight kicked in.
yeah, you was gonna get mauled. You was gonna need them clothes you was buying because
Yeah.
they was gonna rip them off.
Yeah. I was like, whew. I mean, that's what this is all about. That's what's gonna
Live
happen.
that life.
Yeah. My very first gig, though, my very first performance as a paid gig was at a club in Dallas, Texas. There was only one person in the audience that bought a ticket. There was more of me and my crew than was in the building. And
Wow.
Wow.
I sang to that one person like the show was sold out.
As you
And
That's
should.
what you do.
yeah, and
Yep.
then later, as time went on, every single time I went to Dallas, the show sold out, no matter where it was. But my first show, there was only one person
Look how
there.
far you've
Wow.
come.
One.
That part.
Listen,
Yeah.
that is like to go from one to sold out to where they like, when you coming back to do another show?
Yeah, actually, I thought I was gonna move down there at one point because I was there so often. I was there all the time. Dallas and Houston.
Dallas and Houston. That's what's up.
So Tony, what do you have? Even though everything's going on outside in the world, what do you have going on now? Any new projects and stuff like that?
um, well, I started doing this started for myself. I started broadcasting live on my fan page and just performing right for an hour, and then I started. At first, I was calling it "Chilling at the House Like the Rest of Y'all." That was the name of it.
Yeah.
Chilling at the house like the rest of it. I like
No,
that though.
and then I started calling it Tony Terry Tuesday, and it kind of just it turned into a thing. And so I've done it every Tuesday since the pandemic started. and we have many thousands of people tuning in every Tuesday at 9 o'clock from all over the world, and they've come to depend on me being there. And I thought it was really about me. Like I needed something to do, but then I realized that there was an opportunity for me to have an intimate kind of close up connection with my fans, because if they're watching it, they actually think I'm singing to them, because I'm singing directly into this phone like I'm doing right now. And so, and I go in. I'm just doing what I do, and if I don't do a Tony Terry Tuesday, my inbox is full. Hey, what's up? Where you at, man? What's going on? We here. We waiting on. I mean, people have they have watch parties, and they got the ladies have their wine groups and cheese, and the girlfriends, and it's just turned into a thing, and I really appreciate that, because it has kept me working. It's kept me working, because I've been grinding, giving. And then I guess God blessed me. All right, you gonna give, then I'm gonna give to you. So I've been working this whole time.
Indeed.
That's what's up. That's
Yes.
dope. So
Yes.
that's
So
9 p.m. Pacific. I mean Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, 9 p.m. every Tuesday, and then every now and then I will do a pop up, and I'll do a midnight serenade at midnight, or I'll just pop up. And sometimes the pop ups, I did a pop up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. I was like, all right, well, I feel like singing. And I got my setup and got everything going, and had like 20,000 people watching. I was like, what are y'all doing up?
wow. At
Why
3 in the
y'all
morning.
letting them in?
They could ask you the same question. What you doing?
I said I couldn't sleep. Well, what y'all doing up? And then, okay, so there's that. And then I developed a radio show that we've been doing called In the Zone with Tony Terry. We're shooting a short film with my crew. I mean, you have to be creative. You have to. This pandemic has created a new normal.
Right.
Things are never going to be the same. They're never going to go back to exactly the way they were. And I can't imagine that when the bans are lifted across the country or across the world, that people are going to want to rush to go to a concert and sit next to somebody. I don't want to, unless I'm getting a check in the clear.
Let's it clears. All about clearing the checks. He is all about clearing the checks, guys. Right. So if you gonna clear his check, he gonna
Right. So we have to figure out a new way to get our craft out to the world. So for me, social media, and it's just growing into other things that I wasn't even aware that it would grow into. Done many virtual concerts. I've done weddings virtually, all because I stand up and sing, and try to drop some nuggets of information throughout the process, and just make it an enjoyable. We're not talking about bills. We're not talking about the stresses of life. We're taking a diversion that for 1 hour. Sometimes it turns to 2 because we're having so much fun. But and just sing songs that I like, and people chiming in, and it's really a good thing.
That's definitely, listen, that's how we feel right now. Like this little thing that we started, 9 months ago. We gave birth. We got pregnant 9 months ago. No, like you know what I mean. Like we started this 9 months ago, and we didn't have artists. It was just her and I, just going over lyrics of songs and telling our opinion of, like, making it interesting. And then it just turned into what it is now. Like we having artists just coming in and like you being able to tell us like the root of the song and something that happened.
The backstory.
It turns into something different, but all because of the new normal. You feel me? Like,
yeah. See, I didn't understand that this was a platform talking about the lyrics of songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just like how you gave that backstory to this song. Yeah. Like nobody knew that. And then, for example, like we had Carl Thomas on, and he did the "I Wish" song, and we didn't know it was about some girl in high school, the same kind of situation.
But there's another nugget about "I Wish." Dun, 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 those chords are the same chords as dun, 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 when I'm with you. They're the same chords.
What?
Exactly the same chords.
Wow. Girl, I
and
didn't say that.
and
He
then
ain't tell nobody.
both of
I,
y'all about got the song. No matter who did it, it's about some
that's
high
all
school
good.
stuff.
Music
That's
inspires music.
cool.
Music
That's
inspires
cool.
music and
Right.
inspires, yeah.
That's dope. That is
But
so
that's
cool.
awesome how it evolved like that, and it's in high
Hmm.
school stories.
Yeah. Sometimes those are the best stories. I mean, in fact, my lawyer recently told me I talk too much because I share.
I can't imagine why.
Well, because I no, because he's an intellectual property and trademark attorney. So he's like these
Right.
stories that you tell, like stories of your life when you're sharing it so freely. Somebody can take them and write a book, write a movie, and simple as that. He was like, just be quiet, don't tell
Yeah,
your story. If you're gonna tell your story, put it in a book. If you're gonna tell your story, write a script. Just don't
Wow.
tell people.
that part. So
No,
is
Well, we
that
really,
next?
appreciate you.
I didn't understand that, but I do now.
We
Uh,
appreciate you telling us a story
I,
today.
I
So,
forgot. That's because I forgot what he told me. See, if I had remembered what he had told
what? Listen, lawyer guy.
me.
Listen, lawyer guy. What happened was he forgot. Don't be down on him for forgetting.
Yeah, it's all good.
So look. On
Work,
that
he
note,
works for
Tony,
me.
we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming through today. Can you drop all your social media handles so everybody will know where to follow you at?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm easy to find. I'm on Twitter at Mr. Tony Terry, mrtonyterry, and of course got the blue check mark. On Facebook as well as Tony Terry. My fan page is Tony Terry. I mean, my pages have a picture of me. Although somebody's been trying to
Right.
hack my page in the last couple of weeks and circulated a new page with a picture of me on it that's actually not me. And I had to handle that. Yeah, time that.
So on Instagram it's Mr. Tony Terry.
Yeah, and Mr. Tony Terry. Mr. Tony Terry, yes.
We're gonna
Okay.
put all of
All
those in
right.
there.
Yeah, we'll
And
put
we're
all
gonna put
those in
that
the
Soul
in the group.
Train link in there in
Listen,
the chat.
you ain't have to do all that though.
Nah, I ain't letting that one go.
All that ain't necessary.
I ain't letting that one go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch
So
that
look,
one.
so
I'm
I
gonna be
get to
like, let me see what happened.
so I get to
Yeah.
ask my question.
Okay.
So Tony, if you could, if you and this is all up to you, if you could take us out on something, because you mentioned some new music.
Oh
If you
yeah.
can bless us with that, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a new single out called "Born to Love You," and it's a song that that a friend of mine wrote. It's really interesting because while I do write, I do listen to other people's songs, and sometimes, you know, I go with that song as opposed to the thing that I wrote because it's not about the
Mm,
ego. It's about like I let the music dictate what happens. So if we got a hit record
right.
over here, then that's what we're gonna go with.
I agree
But the
with that.
song, but I'm gonna do the remix version of the song, and it's called "Born to Love You." Here goes. Yeah, baby, hey baby, if I told you I adore you, it would cost me nothing, but it cost me everything. If I could offer you nothing, but all my time and patience is enough. There's no price tag on Tony's touch. Ooh, so I text you love letters and send you poinsettias. Count on me to make it better. It's me on you, you on me, baby, 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 baby. I love you. I was born to love you. Oh yes, I was. And you know that I'm right, that I'm right, that I'm right. I was born to love you. Yeah. When it's raining outside, don't mind the weather, because that's where we find forever. Ooh, ooh, let's sip honey jack and let's roll. What you feeling that loud of that roll? It don't matter cause I already know everything that you like, I'm your dream comes alive. You're the medicine for my pain. You're the reason that it goes away. Though you brighten my day and I want you to know you're the reason I smile. Baby, 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 I love you. I was born to love you. Oh yes, I was. And you know that I'm right, that I'm right, that I'm right, yeah, yeah. I was born to love you. Oh yes, oh yes, baby. I don't even really care what they talking about. I still want to say what they want to say, but I'm still in love with you. What you gonna let it pass by? Come on, baby, connection. Come on, baby, you and I, baby, 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 I love you. I was born to love you. Oh yes, I was. And you know I'm right, baby, baby. I was born to love you. I was born to love you.
Yo. First of all, I ain't even gonna clap. I'm gonna tell you why your show on Tuesday is so great. Because watching you right now, you feel the music and you can like when you do it, your body moves and people can feel like you make people feel it. Like I can feel what you were doing.
Yeah, that's
Like
what's up.
that's how deep that was. I was like, yo, like I see why if you're going on Tuesday, people don't like you can bring joy with just that. That brings joy.
Well, you know, one of the things that I tell singers, if you're gonna sing a song, be able to tell the story like believably. It's
Yes.
not even about, you know, that's honestly that's how Mary J used to get us like because she, you know, in the beginning, Mary had some little vocal issues, but she sang the truth, like she meant every word she was singing, and we believed her. We went to see her and buy her records in droves, even though she wasn't a great singer. She's gotten so much better, but if it's all about the believability factor, and I try to surrender to the music and just be honest every time.
You can see it. You can see it for sure.
That
Yeah.
part, look, we felt like
I
we was
love what
there.
I do.
Like,
I love it. I love what I do. I still have and it's really interesting that I still have a passion for being in the music business because the music business is shady. It's dark. It's dark.
look, and that's
It's dark.
the
And you know,
man.
it chews a lot of people up and uses people, especially women. And you know, if a young lady would ask me for advice about being in the music business, my first thing would be don't be an artist. Be a writer,
Mm,
be a producer. Because women have it really, really tough in the music business. They have it, I mean, some men do too, but women, if you're a girl and you want to be in the music business, you should always, always, always have someone with you that cares about you. You should never, ever, ever smoke or drink in a room full of guys. You should never, you know,
mm,
put yourself in a situation where because that kind of stuff happens all the time, and they get you right close, and you know you're thinking that you're gonna make it, and they get you right at the threshold, and then it doesn't happen, and then that
right.
person's life is ruined. Then they're on to
Mm.
the next one. They're on to the next one. Use them up. They use them up. Use them up. Use them up. Women have it really tough in the music business. They really do. Nobody has been willing to say that. You know who started telling the truth? And I don't even know her.
Look, I already know what
Jaguar
you
Wright.
about to say. I
Jaguar
already know what
Wright.
you about to say.
She started telling the truth. Some stuff she was saying, I don't know. I don't know everybody that she talked about, but some of the stuff that I knew about that she talked about, she was telling the truth.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Well,
Fickle business,
God damn.
man. Look,
Yeah.
info.
Yeah.
Again, Tony, we appreciate you coming on and dropping these jewels and giving us this backstory, this history, because it's needed.
Yeah.
It's needed, especially in
Thanks
this
a
time,
million
these days and time.
for coming on here doing this and singing, even though we got no check to clear. We appreciate it
It's
though.
all good.
Like
It's all good.
what you will
I'm
get
sowing a
is more
seed into your
fans.
ministry. I'm sowing a seed into
Yes,
your
yes.
ministry.
You'll get some more followers if that helps.
Yeah. That helps.
And,
Every
and
follower helps.
and you plugged your new single, and
That's right.
so
Right. So there
we
was some
paid you.
value. There was some value.
Yeah,
I got a little something,
yeah.
something.
It wasn't no check, but you felt it.
Yeah.
But no, for real, thank you for coming out. This was a great show. I had a great time.
Thank you for having me, y'all.
You're so
I had a good
real and
time
so
too.
honest and so relatable. It's so cool.
That's what's up.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate you
And
guys.
when you come to Phoenix, though, after
All right.
Outside open back up, remember my name, Tamarisha, Vinyl Conversations. I'm gonna be back there asking for a backstage pass.
I
Just don't
got you.
forget.
I won't act like
Okay?
I don't know you. I won't act like I don't know you.
You can't, because I'm being there like check clear. I'm be like check clear, sir, Surgery. Where we at? Thank you. For real, thank you
All
though.
right, y'all. Hey, y'all have a great day, okay?
All
Bye.
right, thank you, Tony. Bye. Peace. What'd you say? The check clear?
Check cleared. I'm gonna be back there like, hey, you better tell Tony I said check clear. He know who I am. That was cool.
Well, look, guys. Look again. That was a good show. Tony Terry dropping them jewels, and he sang. Look,
Twice.
This the third. This the second show. That's the third show that somebody actually came on and sang the song, and we didn't have to play the lyrics.
Man, look how good we getting.
Oh,
Don't worry about
man.
it.
Look, Eddie blessed us with a new song.
And he did the
That
whole
part.
song.
Look, that part. But again, look, 2020, when we started in March, y'all been rocking with us. We appreciate you guys. And before we end the show and segue into 2021, we like to thank one of our Five Wise for sending this over. This right here.
Listen, y'all.
Thanks for
First
sending
of
that
all,
over.
I'm gonna shout out Candace for making this cup. Got my name on it. See, she sent me you know what I mean? She didn't even have to cash at me. She just sent me a cup. Like, I like that. I'm drinking Five Wise. Shout out to y'all. I don't have no chaser because y'all know how I drink mine straight. So it's good vodka.
Yeah. So we definitely gonna let y'all know more about them in the new year. But in the meantime, you can check them out. Five Wise Vodka. You can check them out online. We'll drop all the links in there so you can find them. On that note, what's she doing?
Oh, my bad. Oh, we still live? Oh, sorry. Hey guys. Hey.
So on that note, we'll see you guys in 2021 unless we pop up and do something live like the other day.
We appreciate y'all. See y'all next year. For real.
All right. Enjoy the rest of y'all year. Peace.